Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Sally Pinto and I'm from the Yonkers Newark Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We launched back in January of 2020 and we're here to serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We have lots of fun programs and activities, and we also have a lot of resources for you as well. Our programs include meditation chair yoga, body mind fitness, bingo, and any other programs that you might be interested, like arts and gardening. We have our resource specialist, Alexa Smith, who can help you with finding services and activities out there for you, as well as our nurse, Barbara Simone, who can help answer your health-related questions. We're here for you, we're here for our community, and we look forward to seeing you in our programs. Enjoy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Alexa Smith, the resource specialist with the Yonkers Newark. I'm here to help with application assistance, referrals for home delivered meals, and transportation services will be coming soon. We also offer Zoom activities and Zoom programs. And if you have any other questions or concerns, I'm here to help. Thank you so much and enjoy the program.
Welcome. I'm Barbara Simone, registered nurse. I recently retired from Westchester County's Health Department as a public health nurse. I am now here to try to assist you with any medical or preventive care issues. Enjoy this program, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
Okay, so let's welcome, good morning everyone. Let's start on our backs today. So if you need a little extra support this morning, you can always be in a chair or whatever you need to find a comfortable position to begin. So if you come onto your back to start, I just invite you to find any place with the legs. So any place with the arms, any place with the legs. Maybe the feet are on the ground. Maybe the legs are out in front of you. If you need like a pillow somewhere or a blanket, please feel free to add. Maybe your arms are by your side, or you can rest your hands on your belly. And I always like to invite just a little bit of movement, kind of like a little wiggle to get any of those twitches out of the body as you begin to settle in. You are welcome to close your eyes or just soften through the gaze. And just beginning to observe the parts of your body that are connected with the floor or the chair. So you notice those places that are connected to surface. And you soften just a little bit, piece by piece, as if you're trying to melt gently into that surface. Starting to observe your inhales and exhales moving throughout your body. Starting to deepen through the breath. Inviting deeper inhales in. Feel your whole body expand with air. And then exhale to let it all the way out. Taking a few more rounds of deep breath. It might even help to bring your hands to your belly if they weren't there. So as you inhale, you feel the belly rise up into the hands. And as you exhale, it's almost as if you're gently pressing the belly down, releasing the air out. Taking about 5 more full, really powerful breaths like this, on your own pace, in your own way. As you finish that 5th breath, no matter what it is, you can leave your hands resting on your belly and just bring your feet nice and slow to plant on the floor if they're not already there, so the knees are pointing up to the sky. And just gently rock the knees from side to side. Just a few times. And then you'll pause the knees back in the middle and cross your right ankle on top of your left knee, so creating a 4 shape. Allow your arms to come out to the side. Maybe they're making a T, maybe they're cactus. And then find that same motion of rocking your knees from side to side, just with that figure 4. And eventually, let that figure 4 drop all the way over to the left. As far as it'll go. It doesn't matter if your knee wants to come in. It doesn't matter if you feel like you need to adjust. If this is too much, you can always just stack the knees in a spinal twist. Always checking in with your body. Last breath here. Then allow your knees to come back to the middle. Keep your figure 4. Start to flex your right foot. So really press the heel towards the left side. And you can even take your right hand and feel as if you're trying to lengthen the inside of the right leg. So you're feeling like you're trying to gently press the right knee up to the sky. Doesn't matter if it actually goes anywhere. So you're really just activating this figure 4. So you have the option to stay right here with the left foot on the floor, or you can hug the left knee into the chest. You can always float. You're going to activate the core a little bit more if you're floating the left leg and not using your hands. So those are 3 options. You can leave the foot on the floor, use your hands to hug in, or activating through the core a little more and just let the foot float. See what your body wants and craves today. Remember to just focus on the activation of the leg. So feel the muscular engagement. Feel the muscles hug to the bones. Take 2 more breaths. After your second breath, let the left foot come back to the floor and hug your right knee into your chest. You can find some circles with the knee, rock it from side to side. Take your hands behind your leg and extend the leg up to the sky. And then do that a couple of times, just starting to wake up the back of the leg. So just bending and straightening. The next time the leg is straight up to the sky, pause, and then just point and flex the foot. And then decide what's feeling like your body wants this morning. Maybe you keep the foot flexed or maybe you keep the foot pointed. Just one breath here. And relax the leg, gently bring the foot all the way back to the floor. Pausing. So try to resist the urge to shake and wiggle it out. Your sides likely feel even just a little bit different here. We'll start to move into the other side. So this time the right foot stays on the floor and cross the left ankle on top of the right knee. So it's really passive here. You can kind of just let the foot hang out. Gently rock this and shift it from side to side. And eventually let that figure 4 drop over to the right. So again, if keeping the cross is too much, just stack the knees. Just coming into a regular spinal twist. Let the knees come all the way back to the middle. And start to flex your left foot. So you can take your left hand and feel like you're trying to lengthen the inside of the left leg, pointing the knee up towards the sky. So just activating that figure 4 a little more. And then Yogi's choice. You can keep the foot on the floor. You can hug the right knee in using your hands, or you can float the right leg, activating through the core a little bit more. Try to take what you took on the other side, but just remember that your sides are very different, so they might need different things. So just checking in with your body as you do that. Use your breath to hold you. So one more breath here. So releasing the leg wherever you're at, you're still going to keep the figure 4 for one more moment. Begin to hug your left knee into your chest. You can rock it a little bit from side to side, just finding space in your hip joint. Take your hands behind your leg and you'll bend and straighten the leg a few times. Just slowly waking up the muscles in the back of the leg. Next time the foot is up towards the sky, pause, and then flex and point the foot. And then pausing in either the flex or the point for just a beat. And start to release the leg, put the foot on the floor. Again, resist the urge to shake it out. And then just start to roll to one side. It doesn't matter which one. And you'll press yourself up and make your way into a tabletop position, coming onto your hands and your knees. And then just start to move the body however feels good once you arrive in that tabletop. So you can move through some cat-cows. Maybe you're circling the hips. There's no right or wrong. After a couple more breaths, just start to make your way into a child's pose. So finish out what you need in your tabletop. And then just allow your hips to sink towards your heels. You can always stay in a seated position if coming all the way forward into child's pose is too much. Just taking a moment to observe and check in as we just change positions on the mat, just change direction. And start to make your way back to a tabletop position and all the way to downward dog. Lifting your hips up to the sky. If downward dog doesn't feel good in your body this morning, you can always stay in a tabletop position on your hands and your knees. Any movement you need when you get there. Start to drop your knees back to the floor, coming back to a tabletop position, so nice and controlled movement. Step your right foot forward. And keep your hands on the floor. So your right hand is on the outside of your right leg and your left hand is towards the floor. Lean your torso on your right thigh. You can kind of find a little bit of dynamic movement here, just gently rocking in and out of the hips. Starting to find a sweet spot to pause and bring your hands to your thigh, lifting your upper body all the way up. Really pressing into your right foot and the back shin. Maybe start to reach the arms all the way up to the sky. So keeping your head and your shoulders and your hips aligned, just start to reach your right arm back and your left arm forward, twisting and looking to the right. We're not going to hold, just come all the way back up to the middle. And then doing it again, so reaching the right arm back and left arm forward. Just finding some nice rotation through the spine, come all the way back to the middle. Last one, reach the right arm back, left arm forward. This time, hold. Really find that stability in the legs. Come all the way back to the middle. Bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. You'll turn your body towards the long edge of your mat. So walk your hands over to the left. You're gonna turn your left toes to face the other long edge of your mat and extend your right leg out. So it's like you kind of turned that tabletop towards the long edge of your mat, but your right leg is still straight out towards the front edge of your mat. Yeah. And start to walk your hands in so you can stand up on your right knee, on your left knee. Right and left are hard, sorry. And reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Really lengthen through the sides of the body. Reach the right hand towards your right leg and reach up and over with your left arm. So really pressing the left knee down as you reach through the left hand, stretching and lengthening through the side of the body. Nice. Come all the way back to the middle. Bring your hands back to the floor. Bring your right knee to meet your left. And just sit on your heels like you're in a child's pose, but you're facing the long edge of your mat. So it's totally fine if you feel a little bit off kilter, facing a different side of your mat. Bring yourself back to your tabletop and then just walk yourself to face the front of your mat again. Come into a downward dog. You can find your downward dog being still. You can move around. Taking the time to just check in with your body here. Allow your knees to drop to the floor. Step your left foot forward. So we'll begin with the the left hand on the outside of the left foot and the right hand on the floor. And then you're still staying forward and just kind of rocking a little bit in and out of this. When you eventually find your sweet spot, you'll pause And just start to walk your hands up to the thigh, lifting the whole body upright. And sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Start to reach the left arm back and right arm forward. So nice and slow movement. And then come all the way back to the center. So just taking that 2 more times, reach the left arm back, right arm forward, finding that rotation through the spine. And then come all the way back to the center. Last one, you'll hold. Left arm back, right arm forward. Really noticing the balance. Keep feeling the crown of your head reach to the sky. Use your breath. Awesome. And then reach both arms back up to the sky. Bring your hands to the inside of your left foot and we'll crawl to the long side of your mat. So again, almost like a tabletop position, except your left leg is going to stay out to the side nice and long. And start to come up to stand on your right knee. Reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Left arm towards the left leg and stretch and reach through the right side of the body. Reach your arms all the way back up to the sky. Bring your hands to the floor. Come to a full tabletop, still at the long edge of your mat. And then maybe come towards a child's pose or sit on your knees. Come back to a table and then walk yourself back to the front of your mat and come into a downward dog. We'll find our way into a forward fold. So you can walk your feet to your hands to your feet, or maybe they just start to walk towards each other and find a place right in the middle of your mat. If it's too much for your body to be in a complete fold with the heart above the head, you can always stay in this more active halfway lift. So bringing your hands to your thighs and really just focusing on lengthening the crown of the head forward. So Yogi's choice, always checking in with your body and your breath today. And then everybody start to come into this halfway variation. Bring your hands to your thighs, lengthen through the crown of your head. Really press into your feet and rise all the way up to stand. This is where my head always gets poked off, but you don't need to see it, it's fine. You're just gonna stand up nice and tall and reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Just feel a nice side body long stretch. Maybe you lean a little bit from side to side. Maybe you just stay in the middle, just kind of, again, always checking in with your body. And releasing your arms down. Maybe just roll the shoulder heads back a couple times. And roll them forward. Creating a little bit more mobility in the shoulder joint. So start to come to the top of your mat, so coming all the way to the front. Just so that you have space, we're gonna step back with one leg. So Maybe taking your feet about hip width apart. You can keep your hands on your hips. Just close your eyes here for a moment before we step back. So maybe just playing with shifting the weight from side to side and front to back. Just finding all the edges of your feet. And then start to find that center, whatever center is to you. So it's the place where you feel most stable. And doing this with your eyes closed, it always makes it a little bit more wobbly, and that's okay. You can always have your eyes open, you don't have to close them. You can open your eyes if they were closed, unless you want to do this with your eyes closed. You're just going to play with balance a lot more today. You'll shift your weight into your left foot and step your right foot all the way back. So really bend into your left knee. So think high lunge. Stay on the ball of your back foot. You can keep your hands at your hips as you set up. Find that rooting with the feet. So almost similar to what we just did standing, except this time you're just off center completely. So you're still trying to find center in the feet when they're not together. If it feels okay, reach the arms up to the sky. And we'll find that same twist. So reach the left arm back and the right arm forward. Know that it's going to throw off your balance a little bit. Reach the left arm back up to the sky. And then open up to the right side of your mat, warrior two. So spin your back heel down. Bend as deeply as you can into your front knee. Let your arms stay long. Really reach through the fingertips. Straighten your front leg. Turn all 10 toes to the long edge of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips. And hinge and fold forward. So again, you can stay in more of a halfway lift, or you can release the head and the neck. Really pressing into the feet for support. Bring your hands back to your hips. Really press into the feet. Maybe bend into the knees to give yourself more of a launching pad and press yourself all the way up to stand. And walk your feet all the way together. And again, try to resist the urge to shake anything off or wiggle it out. Just check in, notice any differences, if there are any, from side to side. Just take a deep breath here. Stepping your left foot back. So coming towards that high lunge. Really rooting into your right foot. Ball of the back foot. Find that steady. If it feels okay, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. come towards that twist. So reach the right arm back and the left arm forward. Come all the way back to the middle, warrior two. So spin your back heel down, turning towards the left long edge of your mat. Really extend through the fingertips. Straighten your front leg. It's been working for a while. Turn all 10 toes to the long edge of your mat. And hinge at your hips and fold all the way forward. Again, you can always keep the spine long, engaging through the posterior muscles, the back muscles, or you can release the head and the neck. Lengthen the spine, bring your hands to your hips. Put a little bend in your knees, gives you a little launch as you press yourself all the way up to stand. Nice and slow when you come from that fold to and all the way to stand. And then walk your feet together. Turn to face the front of your mat. Let your hands fall by your side. And just observe, check in. So before we come back to the ground, we're going to do one more standing pose and find a little bit of balance. So if you want a little bit of support, you can always put yourself next to the wall, or if I have a bookcase here, you can hold onto a bookcase. Preferably something that's not moving, so don't hold on to your dog because they'll run away. You can bring your hands to your heart center. You're going to come into a warrior three, right leg back first. So shift the weight into your left foot, and we'll take this step by step and just slowly start to lift the right foot off the ground. So you'll start to send the right leg back and think that your hips are kind of like a fulcrum. That standing leg is a fulcrum. So you're gonna hinge at the hips, bring the upper body forward and the back leg back. It doesn't matter how much that tilt is, just as long as you're keeping all of the muscles activated. I care much more about the activation and how deep you go into the pose. It doesn't matter how high the leg lifts, really engage through the glute, the hamstring on both legs. Yeah, focus on keeping the spine lengthened wherever you're at. Find something in front of you that's not moving. You can always change the position of the arms, whatever your body needs this morning. And then nice and slow, start to bring yourself back upright. Place the foot on the floor. Again, resist the urge to shake it off. Second side, shift the weight into your right foot. Again, your hands can be wherever you want. You'll focus on lifting the left foot off the ground first. And then in your own way, at your own pace, you'll start to send the leg back, shift the upper body forward. Your sides will likely be pretty different. Use your breath. Use that engagement of the muscles to hold you. Just one more. Come all the way back up. Nice. Release the foot to the floor. Bring your arms by your side. Just check in. Now, in any way you want, come back to a downward dog. Just really allow the sides of the body to lengthen. And then bring your knees to the floor and you'll come to sit. So I'm just turning to the side so you can see me. But you can sit however is comfortable. You can always sit up on a blanket to add a little bit of height or a pillow. And just find a comfortable cross. If the cross isn't comfortable, you can keep your legs out in front of you. And just sit up nice and tall. Just pausing here for a moment. So start to bring your hands behind you. Just tilt this so you can see my legs better. So bring your hands behind you and then bring your feet onto the floor. Yeah. And then just gently start to rock the knees from side to side. So it's kind of like that windshield wiper we were doing when we were on our back. Now we're upright. And then I want you to let the knees drop all the way over to the right. And you'll actually sit yourself up. So press off the hands to sit yourself up nice and tall. So think that the knees are like in a 90-degree and 90-degree-ish angle. It's okay if that left hip is lifting off the floor, mine does. If this is enough, stay here. You can always slide a pillow or a blanket underneath the back knee or the front knee to just add a little bit of support. I want this to feel a little bit more passive as opposed to working really hard in the pose. You can stay upright. If you'd like, you can just start to fold forward. And it doesn't matter where that fold happens. So think of it almost like a crooked pigeon pose. Maybe you even just kind of lean on the front leg. If this is not feeling good for your body today, you can come into a regular pigeon pose where your back leg is straight and you're sitting up on the hip, or you're just in a seated position with your right shin in front and maybe folded forward. And maybe you even add a little bit of a twist, like not a twist. So you're just walking the hands and the upper body over your right knee. Those are your alternative options. Last few rounds of breath here, wherever you are. Nice and slow, start to bring yourself up. You can bring your hands behind you again to let the knees come back up to the sky. Maybe they stay pointing up to the sky, or maybe you just extend the legs long for a moment. So no matter what variation you took on the other side, I want you to try this version first. And if it's not working, then you'll just switch. So you'll bring your feet on the floor, can rock a little bit from side to side. This time you'll let the knees drop over to the left, and you'll actually press off the hands to sit yourself up as you do that. So both legs are bent. You're really sitting on that left hip, but then the right hip will likely lift off the floor. And you're welcome to stay here or fold in. And again, it doesn't matter where that fold happens. Your body's going to kind of tell you where it wants to go here. So again, if you tried this side and it's just really not working for your body today. So notice the difference between painful and just kind of discomfort getting into muscles maybe you haven't gotten into before. You have that option to come into a regular pigeon pose, straightening the back leg, or seated with the left shin in front, just so we're switching sides, and then coming a little forward and then maybe a little bit to the left. Last couple rounds of breath here. And then start to peel yourself up nice and slow as you rewind. You can turn back to the side, extend your legs out, maybe keep the knees bent. And start to find your way all the way onto your back. So when you arrive on your back, hug your knees into your chest. Give them a nice squeeze. Maybe even a rock. And then allow the feet to come to the floor and walk the feet really wide. So as wide as your mat at least. And let the knees knock towards each other. So it doesn't matter if they touch. At some point, they're gonna just kind of find a pause and a little bounce. So keeping your intention and focus on your breath. invite you to stay right here for your final Shavasana, or setting yourself up for Shavasana. So maybe you're sliding a close blanket or a pillow underneath the legs and extending the legs out in front of you. If staying on your back, we were on our back for a big part of the beginning of class. If staying on your back for longer periods of time is just not feeling it in your body today, you can always roll to your side. And if you have a pillow nearby, I recommend sliding a pillow in between the knees. So finding a place where you feel comfortable, but not a place so comfortable that you're going to fall asleep. And it's okay if you do. And just taking these last few minutes of class in complete and total gratitude for your practice this morning. Shavasana. Beginning to bring some awareness back into the space. Beginning to bring some awareness back into the body. Feeling your next breath. Inviting small movements back in. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rolling out wrists and ankles. Rocking your head from side to side. In your own way, in your own time, starting to roll on to your right side. Using the strength of your arms to begin to press yourself up, coming into a comfortable seat. Bringing your hands to your heart center, gently bow your head. Thanking yourself for making it to your mat, for your practice, for your energy, for your breath, and most importantly, for yourself. Namaste.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.